Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore how to create procedural scratched metal textures within Blender. It's a lot easier than you think, so we're just going to jump right in and get started. I'm going to begin by selecting the UV sphere right here and going into Object and Shading Smooth. And before we get into the shading part, we're just going to change the render engine from Eevee to Cycles and make sure the denoise is enabled. Now, let's jump right into the shading panel right here and click New to bring up our principled BSDF shader. Let's start by bringing the metallic from 0 all the way up to 1, and let's bring our roughness down. Let's feel that out, and I think let's try 0.155. Yes, I like that. I'm going to press 0 on the numpad to focus the camera view on the UV sphere right here. And now I'm going to add a wave texture by holding Shift and pressing A. Under Search, I will type Wave and select Wave Texture. Place it right here and connect the color to the base color. We're going to get these black rings right here. And what we're going to do from here now is make sure the wave texture is selected and hold down Control and press T. And under the texture coordinate, we're going to drag the object to the vector, and it's going to make our lines a little bit finer. Now, before we do anything else, we have to make some adjustments to the wave texture because we're going to add a few color ramps which are going to drive the scratched aspects of the texture. So let's begin by changing the scale from 5 to about 3.3. And let's bring our distortion up. I'm thinking about, 6.7 seems good. I'd like to increase the detail right here from 2 all the way to 15. And I'd like to bring the detail roughness down. Let's bring it down to about 3.335. Let's do that. 0.335. That sounds good. All right. Now let's add our first color ramp. Hold Shift and press A, and under the search, type in color and ramp. Nope. And just hover it over the yellow line until it becomes white, and just click, and nothing happens. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just hold down this slider and bring it closer to the black slider, and you're going to notice that as I bring it closer, the black rings become smaller. And we want this white slider to be somewhere between the plus and the minus right here, if that helps. But as you can see now, I get a little closer. We have these black rings, and they're a little bit distorted, and it doesn't really look like scratched metal yet. We need a second color ramp that's going to help this out. I'm just going to add a completely new one. And just hover it over that line. Just drop it in again. Nothing happens. So what we want to do with this one is we're going to make some minor changes. We're going to change this black color right here. We're just going to bring this slider up till it's about a pretty light gray. We want this to be very, very, very light. And right now, as you can see, it washes out all of our detail, but we're going to get all that back in just a moment. So I'm going to now I'm going to move this color ramp just a little bit closer, trying to just clean up this little order a little bit, and I'm going to add a bump node. A bump node is really going to help that texture pop a little bit. So I'm going to hold Shift and press A, under search, type in bump right here. And I'm going to drag this color value into the height right here, and then I'm going to drag the normal into the normal. And a little bit, you can see there's like this sort of, it's like a dinged mirror sort of a look. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to drag this white value closer. And as you can see, things start to change, and we get that scratched sort of aspect back, depending on where exactly we want that. I want these to be pretty thin, so I'm keeping it really close. My white slider is almost touching the edge of the plus sign right here. Now, if I zoom in, it's definitely scratched. It's definitely looking, it's there. Something that you can do to increase that even a little bit further is by cranking up the distance. As you can see, you can crank it as high as you want to. I'm actually going to crank mine just for a moment here to about 30. I know that seems ridiculous, but I'm just going to leave it right about here. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. We're in the material view right now, so we haven't switched to cycles for our final render view mode, but let's just see how it looks just as a quick. Let's get into actually the camera view mode. I like to look at it exactly from the camera view mode under layout. And it's not bad. It's definitely looking like scratched metal. If we come back under the shading tab and select the UV sphere, make sure it's selected, we can make some adjustments. Go back under material preview, and you can, change things up a little bit. You can definitely drag this slider a little bit to just, if you notice, there's a bit subtle, but you can see there's a black line that is appearing in the scratches right here when it's all the way to the right, and when I bring it back, that disappears. And also over here, you can drag this slider to widen the scratches. If you like that, you can definitely come over to the scale and change how big they are, the distortion, everything really. But for the most part, you are done right here. So yeah, you just come back here into the render view mode. I'm going to change the plane right here to black and metallic. It's just looking a little washed out. You can't really see some of those details as good. We're going to also make this metallic and just turn this roughness down a little bit so we can just look at this a little bit more effectively. Yeah, I think that looks like a pretty nice scratched metal texture. That was pretty fast to do. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something new today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider a like and subscribing, and leave a comment below if you just wanted to comment on the process and what you thought. So yeah, thanks. Have a good day.